Hello, my name is Francis Fox, and I am a trained government remote viewer. I'm also trained in interspecies communication. I have a degree in political science. I'm not trained in astrology. I use my psychic abilities to give you that extra information. And I'm totally aligned with my prosperous mission, not just my mission, but my prosperous mission. And you can also do that. And there's a mantra. It's very simple. Let me give you it to you before we start on the horoscopes. Please, God, help me with my intention to create a my miraculously prosperous mission. Please, God, help me with my intention to create, because we are creators. We are the ones that create everything, including the messes. Please, God, help me with my intention to create my miraculously prosperous mission. How do we know you can do that? Look at Elon Musk. He does what he does because he loves it. The minute he stops loving it, it becomes a problem. But that's the way you need to be. So do the mantra. It's repeated silently in your mind. Expel through your breath. And you will be very surprised at how many people immediately relax because they know that whatever it is that they're going through, it's going to be limited because they've already let the universe, God, the spirits know that they want to do their mission. What happens then? A whole group of spirits get up off their couches, off their chairs, off their hammocks, and they start to move to work with you. When you are not aligned with your mission, when you're just simply working for a living, or you're doing whatever, you're going through the motions, whatever, uh, they are not allowed to help you. You have to basically figure out what to do next. You don't get the extra help. The minute you legitimately align, you get a whole series of spirits in the other dimensions, and there's many other dimensions and only one physical. It's good to have them over there, and they are opening doors, pushing you into things, reminding you, putting words in your head, stuff that you forgot. So let's go ahead and start with the horoscopes. I already did the horoscopes in Spanish, and that was kind of helpful. It appears a lot of people are waking up and they're looking at things and they're going, wait a second, why didn't I see this before? That's why we're in Revelations, because there were veils there. It's not that we were dumb as a rock. It's not that we were visually impaired. It was there was a veil between us and the truth about a lot of things. And we're waking up. We're getting real upset at ourselves. But then if you make decisions based on what it is that you're seeing that you don't want any longer, you don't have to, you can get upset at yourself and allow that to give you the energy to make these tough decisions. But basically, you don't need the problem anymore because you already recognized it. And humans only have problems if they need them in order to wake up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with your signs. All of this is information based on psychic abilities. So we're going to go ahead and start, as usual, with Aries, which is a male sign and it is a fire sign. Aries, the week of July 28th to August the 3rd, 2025. What might be important for you to know? Um, Aries, you've been a lot more depressed and a lot more angry than you have allowed anybody else to know, but also you've not allowed yourself to know. So that is on the lower chakras. It's actually in the ground around you. And here's the trick. When the New Yorkers did not process their rage when the World Trade Centers were attacked and torn down, fell down, that rage, which was a legitimate reaction, was absorbed by the earth. 5 weeks after 9/11, or 6 weeks after 9/11, there was an earthquake in New York City, epicenter New York City, due to Mother Earth trying to shake off this excess energy of fire, of rage. You don't want that to happen in your life, Aries. So you need to start accepting your normal, legitimate reaction to things, your depression, your anger. Just do a purification mantra. Purification mantras are vacuum cleaners. They're not a reinforcement of the issue. They're a vacuum cleaner. You're directing your breath, your vacuum cleaner, towards something you don't want anymore. So it gets suctioned out with your breath in the mantra. And your mantra would be, even though I didn't know it bothered me that much, I love and accept myself. And that may be one thing, or this week it may be one thing, and then next week it may be something else. So when you see something and all of a sudden you're surprised at your level of reaction, you need to do that mantra a lot. And then something else will come up, because we are in Revelations, Aries. You're not in a bad place, but you definitely do not want to carry the toxicity of your legitimate emotional reactions. You don't want to carry it forward, because that toxicity ends up creating disease and issues that wouldn't be there if you simply process your legitimate emotional reaction. You don't need to tell the world. The only one that needs to know is you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead on to the next sign, which is Taurus. Taurus is a female sign and it's an earth sign. Taurus, what do you need to know? Okay, Tauruses are very evolved and they're very psychic. They're not great communicators, and they can be sometimes slow as molasses, because they think things and they rethink them and they look at them from many different angles. But what do you need to know this week? What you need to know is you have had a lot of really good ideas, and you really have never truly benefited from the level of your creativity and of your advanced knowledge. Okay, so what has that done to you? It has created a congestion in your back at the level of your second chakra, which is the one that has to do with sexuality, creativity, sacred joy. And there's a knot in your back, which would be 2 inches below your belly button, but it's in the back next to the spinal cord. It's a congestion. And it has to do with your frustration at not being heard when you have the answer. And it becomes pretty obvious afterwards. You had the answer, but there's something about there not being a direct line between your knowledge and people actually hearing it and you benefiting from it. And I know most of you Tauruses are going to go, that's true, that's true. Okay, so we verbalized it. Now you need to get rid of that congestion. That part of you needs to flow. So your mantra would be, even though they can't hear me, I love and accept myself. That's your mates, your bosses, your kids, your friends. And you give them the information, but they can't hear you. Then maybe 2 hours later, they go ahead and do what you said, but they didn't hear. They heard, but they didn't really hear. They weren't aware that they just did was something that you said 2 hours before. So you never get the benefit. You never get the thanks, and you never get the compensation. That's going to change. But you got to unknot that knot of muscles at that level, 2 inches below your belly button, but in the back, stuck to the spine. You breathe into it with that mantra, even though they can't hear me, or even though they don't hear me, I love and accept myself. And it's not about your complaints. It's about your genius, your creativity. You're going to like it. What's going to happen? Let's go ahead and continue with the next sign. The next sign is Gemini. Our president is Gemini, Trump. Let's see what we see. Gemini. I see you, Gemini, looking through this haze of mind strings that are kind of depressed, whatever, and you're looking and you can see the people and you're going, they don't really get it. And then you're looking at yourself and you're going, I didn't really get how important this was. Ah, I get it now. So Gemini is waking up and understanding reactions. Now, our reactions are usually emotional, and then they go into the mental and verbal and whatever. But a Gemini is an air sign, and they're not that interested in emotions because those are so messy, and they are. But Gemini's waking up and going, I get it. So it's not just a question of understanding it intellectually. We got to deal with the emotional component also. Hmm. This is this is balance, Gemini. Your astral spirit is only about emotions. And it's your spirit. It's what's left when your physical body dies. So to take care of it, or to take care of other people's spirits, is really, really important. And this is a wonderful sign of your spiritual evolution, Gemini. You're going to make a lot of decisions that are going to be angled a little bit different. They're not going to be totally different, but they're going to be angled a little bit different. They're going to take care of the emotional component, and then the whole intellectual and explanation of, is it this reasonable? This is what we should do. That will be there also. You're not going to lose your mental capacities or the sharing of them, but you're going to make sure you take care of the emotional component, which is always the most important and that you didn't pay enough attention to before. Done deal. I like what I'm seeing, Gemini. So let's continue on to Cancer. Cancer is a female sign and it's a water sign. Water is emotions in metaphysics. Cancer, what do we see from you? Your emotions are all very up, and it's almost like they're creating a filter that you can semi-transparent. They're hindering you a little bit, but you can still see. What I see is you going, okay, I need to relax on this a little bit. I need to calm this situation, which is really yourself, down. I need to push through my own mind streams that are not letting me see other people's reality. And then once you go like this, like opening curtains, but they're really your own mind streams, we have 72,000 of them, and you're able to see people better, and you're able to understand them better, and you're able to relate better, and you're getting what you want more easily because you can actually see better the reality, your reality, other people's reality. So something that had created kind of like a filter, but that basically was a block for you, Cancer, it's you're pushing it away, which would be kind of like revelations. It's being revealed to you additional information in your relationships, and you're going, oh, never thought about that. Never thought about their emotional reaction to what I just decided. No wonder they're so cranky. So it's not that the other person is right and you're wrong. It's that you can see the other person's point of view better. You're not just drowning in emotions. You're parting the waters, the veils, and you're seeing other people drowning in their emotions or whatever it is that's going on with them. This is very good, Cancer. This is also tremendous evolution for your soul and for your human relationships. This is really good. I'm Cancer. This is really good. Really good. The United States is Cancer. Interesting. Elon Musk is Cancer. I'm Cancer. Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. We are going to go now to Leo. Leo is a male sign and it's an air sign. No, it's a male sign and it is a fire sign. Leo, you have a congestion of something having to do with family that was in your solar plexus and even lower, that has come up and is right in your mouth, and it's rage. Okay, so you're ready to release rage. I suggest you do a mantra so that you don't destroy relationships with whatever it is you're going to reveal or whatever you want or need to process, because it's right there. And your mantra should be, even though I hate everybody and everything, I love and accept myself. You need to reduce that volume of rage. And it's stuff that finished. It's stuff that's over. It's stuff that happened before. It's stuff that is never going to repeat. but you still have a legitimate reaction to it. So do that mantra, reduce your rage, and then you're going to be able to actually communicate what it is that you have found so distressing and that you're right in your reaction to it. But when we have emotional reactions that are huge because the issue is huge, then the communication gets totally damaged. Reduce that with that mantra that you repeat silently. It's a purification mantra. It is not an affirmation. Even though I hate everybody and everything, I love and accept myself. Okay? Continuing on. We have Virgo, which is a female sign and it's an earth sign. Virgo. I see you. Virgo has not done well for years. Mexico's Virgo. It's a hard sign to be. They're perfectionists. They think they're supposed to be perfect. They want everything to be perfect. Perfection doesn't exist, so they're never satisfied. So they're pretty miserable people. They're very solid citizens. You're lucky to have a Virgo on a team because they're a perfectionist and they grab something and they don't let it go till they get it done. But they're pretty miserable. But I see you shaking it off, Virgo. I see you with a lot more light. And I see you moving away from darkness towards light. This is good because I've been worried about Virgos. I don't have anybody personally that's Virgo. A whole country, Mexico, is very important to me. But you're going towards light. You're shaking off the addiction to earth, grounded, landed, so realistic that you just don't even bother having wonderful thoughts about anything. Because after all, it's all going to get messed up. When you're too realistic, that's what happens. But you're getting away from that. The man who was duly elected vice president of Venezuela is a Virgo. This is a good thing. Duly elected? Why did I say that? Because the dictator's still there. He's making me look really bad, that dictator. We've done so much work with mantras and we haven't been able to move him because his team has rifles trained at his head. They don't want him to leave. His team, not Venezuela, his particular military team, they don't want him to leave. What are they going to do? So it's understandable. We're talking about the dictator. The one who's a Virgo is the incoming president, the one that was duly elected. So he's seeing light. This is good. This is really good. Okay, we're going to continue on to Libra. Libra was a mess last week. I mean, like somebody took a hatchet to them and just completely cut them to pieces. This week is better. Libra. You're totally unsteady on your feet, but you're hanging on to a desk, to a table, and you're going, I like that. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I can do this. I know what I'm doing. I can do this. This makes sense that Libra would feel that way this week because last week it looked like somebody had taken a hatchet or a knife or a machete and had gone after Libra and cut him into pieces, which is something that you can do with black magic. It is doing black magic at the etheric, which is the Higgs field level, which is like, it's almost impossible to repair from that. Unless you actually go work on that level. Most people don't know you can do black magic on that level. Okay, Libra seems to have done a pretty good job. So this week is much better. Yes, Libra, you can do it. The vice president, duly elected vice president of Venezuela is Libra. So this is good. Better. She can do it. She can do it. She's going to do it. She's going to do it. I'm trying to get her together with Elon Musk. Even though the dictator is still there in Venezuela, there's no reason. If she was duly elected, and they were, why can't they sign a contract and get Starlink into Venezuela? Do you know how many people have worked for me from Venezuela? And there's always, oh, we didn't have any internet. I don't want to hear that anymore. So you know what? Maria Corina, this is Elon. Elon, this is Maria Corina. She's a duly elected. Elon, get a contract for her. Get this moving, okay? Get it done. Done. Get it done. Thank you. That's a promo. So that my life will be easier. Let's continue on. And we're going with Scorpio. Scorpio. They're all about karma. If you have a Scorpio in your life and they do something that is so god awful, you can't believe what they did to Scorpio. My God, no wonder they have that reputation. You know what their reputation is, or should be, because most people don't know. They're here to do whatever they need to do for you to face whatever you need to face, which you didn't face. It's so god awful you didn't face it. And a Scorpio comes and they slap you around with the situation, and you blame Scorpio. No, 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 no. Why did you need Scorpio to do that? Now, let's see what's going on with Scorpio for this week. Scorpio, I see you have a fan in front of you, Scorpio. And then it opens a little bit and you can see out, and then people can see it and they could see you. And then you close it because you don't want people to see you. So, what is good for you to know this week? You're almost getting ready to reveal what it is that you really want. Which, when people hear it, they're going to go, Scorpio, you want that? Are you sure you want that? They do. They just didn't know how to tell you. And it is very unscorpio what they want. It is not vicious, vindictive, manipulative, none of that. It's very soft and sweet. And that's why people are going to go, Scorpio, you want that? Good luck, Scorpio. This is good. You're revealing yourself. Again, evolution of the soul. The real part of Scorpio is going to come out. And maybe Scorpio will drop being so good at delivering karma to people and then getting blamed for it because people don't understand karma. Whatever bad's happening in your life is karma. But you're not supposed to go, oh my God, you're supposed to go, why did I need that particular problem? Continuing on, we're going to go to Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a male sign. It's a fire sign. Sagittarius, I swear, it's been 2 or 3 years. It's been a mess with Sagittarius. I'm talking even physically dangerous. So Sagittarius, I see you with people around you and they have rifles, not submachine guns, and they have it pointed at your head. And I see you with a massive depression. Now, who do we know that's Sagittarius? The dictator of Venezuela, who was elected out, but he's still there. But it makes sense with everything I see with him and with Venezuela, and that his team doesn't want him to leave because then they get left. He'll leave and he'll probably be multimillionaire, happy as a lark, drinking margaritas on a beach and fanning himself. But the rest of the team, maybe they don't know where they're going to go. They're not letting him leave. Literally, they're not letting him leave. So, and he's a Sagittarius. That's why I'm telling you the story. If you're a Sag, it will be a little bit different because everybody's personal details are different, but it's still the same thing. It's the theme of Sag. Darn it. It's still the same thing. It's Sag being positioned in a place where they don't want to be, but they have too many people watching them and making sure that they don't move a muscle. You know what's interesting? I think I must have a lot of Sag in my chart, but I've known that for a long time. And this makes sense to me. So, Sag, why don't you go ahead and do a mantra having to do with free will? Because the problem with Sag is they don't have free will. They have too many people that think they're too important or that have positioned them a certain way or that affect them too much. And those people are not letting Sag choose, Sagittarius, choose or make the movements that they want. So your mantra, which is the mantra for black magic also, please God help me with my intention to create a miraculous protection of my free will. The dictator of Venezuela does not have free will, and he hasn't had it for a while. He's wanted to leave for a while. I certainly have had not free will, so I can say that this particular reading, now that I connect the dots, makes sense that I would have a lot of Sag in my chart. Those of you that are Sagittarius, do the mantra. It's the same mantra for black magic. Okay, let's continue on. We are now in Capricorn. Capricorn is a female sign, and it's an earth sign. Capricorns are all about family and protection, protecting the family, taking care of people, the people that they love. and being hard workers and very systematic and very dedicated. So Capricorn has done what I saw when I got to Cuba when I think I was 11 when I went to Cuba. It was right after Castro came in, and you know my history, whatever. So the CIA sent me and my family to Cuba. People are leaving. We were going to Cuba. And I remember that at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I don't know how long they did that, but they would line up on a wall all these anti Castro people that they would catch, and they would shoot them like a firing squad at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So, why am I saying this? Because Capricorn is doing the same thing right now. Capricorn has lined up on a wall, but he has these people with their back to him. He's not shooting them in the face. But basically, he has lined up against the wall people, family members, a lot of them. And he's got a rifle, not a submachine gun, very focused, and he's going to shoot them. And that it'll be over. He won't have to worry about them again. And his rage, Capricorn, or her rage is very quiet, but very focused. Capricorn woke up to the fact that you can have family members and people that you love and you trust, and they can be god awful to you. He's finally able to see that the people that look like they were the best thing for him, the nicest, the sweetest, too many of them did not have good intentions and were just hypocrites and liars. But they're seeing it, they're living it, and they're making a decision, which would appear to be the correct decision, which is basically line them up, take them down, and that's it, it's over. There's nothing to discuss, Capricorn. You know that. Good decision. Let's go on to the next sign, which is Aquarius. Aquarius is the most evolved of all the mind signs. Aquariuses don't deal a lot with emotions. They mentally look at everything and come to mental conclusions, and they think all this stuff with emotions is silliness. Let's see about this week. Hold on. Aquarius this week woke up to their own emotions in their solar plexus, which is the garbage can of emotions. But see, I understand something now about Aquarius. Aquarius are very bright. They really get it. They get like everything, but they don't have a lot of power. Like they should be the head of the bank, or the head of this, the head of that, and they're not, because it's not just mental. Your emotions are considered a force in Hinduism. And in when they say may the force be with you, they're talking about your force, your energy body, that's the force field, which is your astral, which is emotions. Aquarius is, they're above emotions, but then they don't have the personal power on the physical dimension. They don't. They have the mental power, but not the personal. But I think that's going to change. I think Aquarius is seeing, oh my God, and they're going, I didn't know this. I didn't understand this. So big change this week. Aquarius woke up, revelations, an understanding of astral forces, their own emotions, their solar plexus, which is the garbage can of emotions. It's also where you channel personal power. So this is a big shakeup week for Aquarius. They're going to be fine. They're really confused. It's like, I don't get this. How did I not see that before? I don't get it. Let me see if there's a mantra that I can give. I'm not sure that the Aquarius is going to do a mantra, but I think the mantra should be, even though I didn't understand, I love and accept myself. Even though I didn't understand, I love and accept myself. Okay, let's go to the last sign, which is Pisces. Pisces is a female sign, and it's a water sign, which means emotions. Pisces is just like Aquarius. Pisces, I see Pisces in their home, and they're walking around really slow, but it's because they woke up and they're looking at stuff and they're going, oh my God, I'm part of the problem. In other words, Pisces didn't think they were part of the problem. After all, they were just observing and letting people do what they needed to do and kind of doing their own thing. And I don't actually know what happened, but Pisces is now going, Pisces is in shock and going, okay, darn, I'm part of the problem. Oh my God, darn, I'm part of the problem. And it's not a question of them liking or not liking. They're in shock. It's too much. They didn't see that. Um, Pisces, your mantra, even though I'm embarrassed because I didn't know, I love and accept myself. Even though I'm embarrassed because I didn't know, I love and accept myself. Interesting. Aquarius and Pisces realize the same thing. Pisces goes into the emotion of embarrassment, emotion, and Aquarius is still just thinking about it because they're an air sign, which is not emotional. Very interesting. Okay, so I suggest that every week when we do this, that you listen to all the horoscopes. But before that, you find out what is the astrological sign of your mate, your kids, your boss, your coworker, a person that you're trying to do business with, the guy who runs your country, or the female that runs your country. Like Mexico is Taurus, and the president, I believe, is Libra. That last week looked like somebody went after her with it. All Libras with a hatchet. This week they should be recuperating but insecure. So it should reflect in news. And countries have astrological signs. So Virgo, which is Mexico, they should be waking up. The United States is Cancer. Cancer is waking up to the emotional component of things that they hadn't really kind of seen for other people. And perhaps this could have something to do with an understanding of how the immigration policies today maybe are creating an incredible emotional reaction in people, and maybe that needs to be taken care of also. So, emotions, when you die, your emotional body, energy body, which is called your astral spirit, continues. Your physical doesn't. Your bank account doesn't continue. Okay? Your house and the mortgage doesn't continue. So it's important to take care of those emotions because you're not going to get away from them in the next incarnation. On the contrary, they will be the basis, whatever you didn't deal with, for whatever problems you're going to have coming up next. That's why just deal with it now. But if you didn't see it, the Cancer couldn't see it, Aquarius couldn't see it, Pisces couldn't see it. And that's what Revelations is about, for you to deal with the full truth of everything. And then a lot of times your decisions are going to be very different. So that's it. I'm Frances Fox. I hope I will be your favorite psychic spy. Why do I reinforce the whole thing with psychic spy? Because it's part of my history. I was in the mind control program. If I start to deny what it was that I did and what I was, I cannot really speak to you. It's going to come out anyway. So I might as well let you know that that training that I got, which was god awful and was used for god awful things, is actually wonderful for what I do now. Okay? And get yourself a lot of coconut and a lot of mangoes because they help protect against two different types of spirits. Coconut, the spirits that used to have a physical body on planet Earth, and mango protects you from spirits of the devil that never had bodies on the physical dimension. Two different energies, two different intensities, and two different vibrations are needed to protect you from them. But how interesting that coconut and the mango, both of them have a type of joy, different types of joy, but a type of joy. And spirits can't be in the same space with joy. That's why it is so shocking to know how sick our energy center that deals with sexuality and creativity and connection to God, which is the second chakra, 2 inches below your belly button, it's completely shot. That's where our joy is. And the spirits can't come where there's joy. So if we are completely shot where it comes to anything having to do with sex, and we are, basically it's an open door to the spirit world, which is the problem. Okay? Thank you for listening.